veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
welcome back, guys. We are back with the final, absolute, positively,
Yes.
absolutely final episode of season 17.
Yes.
Denver, you have not been good to us, but our fans, our supporters, our audience has been very good. Wouldn't you say that, Kimberly? They have been very
Yes.
good.
Oh, they have. Thank you all so much for hanging in there with us and all the support, comments, likes, all the things, the shares. Y'all have been great.
They have been doing all the things that have been
Yes.
singing, as Chloe would say.
Yeah.
I loved it over on your channel on Wednesday evenings. We got to watch live and get the commentary in with you doing the
Mm-hmm.
commentary, doing the commercial. So that was a lot of fun, and a lot of your supporters came over here. I want to thank you if you are one of
Yes.
Kimberly Review's followers and her subscribers. I want to welcome you to my channel, and go ahead and hit that subscribe and that like button, guys. We really
Yes. Yes.
appreciate you. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it. It's a nice, crisp, warm day here in Detroit, Michigan, after the NFL draft, and they're even talking about possibly bringing the NBA All-Star game to Detroit, Michigan. So I'm excited about
Nice.
I'm excited about that. But let me get started here with my notes. We won't be long. We're here for a good time, but not a long time.
Right.
We start off the episode. One of the scenes that was memorable, and I'm not going to go scene by scene. We're just going to kind of get some of the major highlights that captured my attention and my interest. We see that Lauren and I'm sorry, wait a minute, hold on. Lauren and Claire are talking about they're together and they're talking about Claire's new boyfriend. What did you make of that, Kimberly? What did you make of that? That apparently Lauren has actually met Claire's boyfriend who
Yeah.
lives out of state in, I think, Seattle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. It was Seattle, Washington.
Yes. So what did you think about that?
I'm not feeling this long distance for her. Claire probably just jumped out there on the dating app. I'm assuming that's how they met. But I think she just snagged something just in time for the follow up. But Lauren was really overdoing it when Claire was talking about whoever she's dating. I think she called him her partner already. So that's interesting. But it seems like they've been dating for a few months, and Lauren, like you said, seemed positive, but I'm not convinced that it's anything that's going to be lasting already.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was looking at. I was like, and first of all, he's in a whole nother state, not even a
Mhm.
neighboring state. Like, sometimes you'll date someone a state over where you can go. I remember years ago, I dated a guy that was in Indiana. I'm in Michigan, so we would see each other all the time. We would see each other
Okay,
all
yeah.
the time. But when and I know they're planes. I understand they're planes, but I just clear to me. I have my suspicion. All I'm gonna
Mhm.
say is everybody loves a good rainbow. That's all I'm gonna say. Everybody
Yes.
loves a good rainbow. So do with that what you will. So moving
Right.
forward, moving forward. What about Chloe? Chloe, we see Chloe talking to her friend. She doesn't seem to like the other wives. What did you make of that with her and her friend Caesar?
I agree. I'm with Chloe on this one. I'm so glad that she didn't let those ladies suck her in, because now I'm thinking Claire and Lauren were the ringleaders of everyone breaking up, because their relationships did end so early. And it was like they were just so bitter because they didn't have a successful relationship, or their marriage didn't last. It was like they tried to tear down the other relationships and they
Okay.
succeeded. And so Claire was so wise to stay far away from them. I'm supporting
You mean
sorry,
Chloe?
Chloe. Yes,
Chloe.
I'm
Yeah.
supporting Chloe on this one. The conversation she had with her friend was spot on, and I even love that she mentioned she's not bothered about Michael and Lauren rumors, of getting together or whatever. She seemed unbothered there,
Yeah.
and she was still talking to Michael as we saw during this episode. They seemed to be cordial.
Yeah, I'm wondering like what's the replay gonna look like for them? Are they do you think they still maybe have some kind of holdout or some of hope that maybe they'll rekindle? What do you think about that?
That could be possible because Lauren, when they were talking about that part, Chloe said that Michael's loyalty still lies with her. So that was a big statement to make. So she seemed pretty hopeful in that point when she was
Hmm.
referring to Lauren talking to Michael. She was like, "Oh well, I just hope she knows where his loyalty lies." So it seems like they may be holding on to each other and maybe wanted to kind of date off the camera a little more.
Good point. Good point. I guess that's very possible. Maybe they didn't want the glare of the and the attention of the camera and all
Mhm.
of America in their business. That's a very good
Right.
point. And maybe through that they feel like they can find themselves in their relationship. But I'm also wondering. I've been kind of looking at Michael a little differently since his decision day. He and Chloe. I kind of suspect that we might have been a little schmuckered by this guy. I think he might be a little bit of a player.
Yeah, I'm with you there. On decision day, did it for me. I was not looking forward to him saying no. And that's what really let me see, okay, he's not serious here. He's not taking this as seriously as he should, because there's no reason, in my opinion, that Michael should have said no on decision day, especially since the experts went and tried to find him a second wife, like, after he was left at the altar, and they did
Yes,
all this work to find him a second wife who fit the description that he
that he
wanted, and then
said.
he still turned his back on this woman. So, yeah, he was playing a game for sure.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know. I see him all over my IG too. Have you noticed that he's all over IG? He's out there doing interviews, and he just seems
Ah,
to be just really reveling in the attention. Which I'm like, okay, I don't know.
wow.
Something about him that's just kind of inauthentic to me at this
It
point.
is, for sure. No,
Yeah.
I haven't seen him, but I wouldn't put it past him. He got to show off those $4,000 fashions.
Yes. Yeah, definitely has to show off those designer
Yes,
name brand fashions. Okay,
exactly.
let's move over here to Emily. Emily is in therapy, and no surprise in this respect aspect, she is in therapy with a male therapist.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts about her being in therapy, and what do you think she should be focused in on?
I kinda like that she's in therapy, but is she gonna listen? That's where I'm stuck at. So I'm all for therapy, but if you're not willing to listen and do the work, what's the point? Is it just because you wanted to kinda like I said with Claire, you wanted to have a good update for the Where Are They Now session? And it was interesting to see that she's no longer talking to her family, and I wonder where did that come from
That
because
part, wait a minute, slow down. That
yeah.
part, I was shocked. I was
Yeah.
literally shocked when she said she's not talking to her family.
Yes.
Where did that come from? And
Right.
why is she not talking, especially to her mother? Because I know there was some tension throughout the season. I remember her mentioning the tension. There was some tension between her father because her father was very harsh with her as she was playing sports, right?
Mhm.
But
Yes.
what did the poor mother do?
Maybe supported the father. I don't know, but sometimes that is the advice that people are given when there are so many, I guess,
Mhm.
negative things tied to family, friends, work, whatever. You will
Okay.
be advised to cut them off.
Go no contact.
Yep.
I am seeing and hearing that this is a thing with the millennials and the parents. There
Oh.
are more millennials than any other generation previously
Mhm.
that are adults and they are estranged from their own family and their own parents.
Yeah. And
I think
I
that's a
don't mind it too much, but like you said earlier, we need
mhm,
more details. What
we
happened?
need
Like
more
why?
details. Why? Yes. Why exactly? I feel like at this stage now, I don't know anything about, like you said, we don't really know anything about Emily's family. I don't recall. I don't even remember. Did we ever even meet them? Like, you know how a lot of times we meet the family, we'll meet the parents. I remember. I remember. Austin's parents. I remember we even met Brennan's mom and dad, and I
Mhm.
remember them. I remember Lauren's father and Lauren's brother and her sister-in-law. I don't remember Emily, anyone from Emily's family. I just always remember her girlfriends. That was the only one that represented her from her past. So, do you recall any of Emily's parents being on the show?
I thought so when they were on the roof. Was it the rooftop or at some point? I thought it was like a cousin or somebody, but
Okay,
not the
but
parents.
right. So, not the parents. That's what I was concerned about.
Mhm.
This is the thing I'm going to say about this, and this, and then we're going to move forward. Unless you have whatever you want to add to it, I'm just thinking that also, like I said, I do understand her maybe being having some regret or resentment about if her dad really pushed her and was maybe not supportive of her as a whole person and as his child, loving her unconditionally
Mhm.
regardless of how she played sports or soccer or whatever her sport was. I believe it was soccer. But what I don't understand, like what I look at it from this, what we've seen this season, Emily doesn't like correction.
Yes.
She doesn't like any type of form of constructive criticism. So
Right.
I have to kind of wonder if her dad and maybe her mom have been trying to talk to her about her lifestyle, because from day one we heard Emily basically say that she liked one night stands,
Mhm.
that men ghost her after 2 or 3 dates.
Right.
I never have heard that in my whole life from a girl that is because she's saying she's a 10. I'm not gonna give her a 10 to be
Oh,
really
no.
realistic, but I think she is attractive
Mhm.
and she is young and she is a woman. So I don't understand that concept that you're a woman and you keep getting ghosted after a second or third date. Something else is going on with Emily.
Right. Like they say her picker is off because she keeps picking the wrong one, wasting time with the wrong ones, especially if you can't even get past a second or third date. That says a lot.
It says a lot. It says a lot. And I'm gonna go a little bit further, a little step further than you out here on this ledge. I'm gonna say that it's not necessarily just even off only that her picker is off. I'm gonna say, like someone once said, if every person you meet, every guy you date doesn't want to go out on more than 2 dates with you, doesn't
Yes.
want to get into knowing you deeper on a deeper level, doesn't want
Mhm.
to be in a relationship, maybe
Right.
there's really something wrong with you.
Exactly, but people
She's
don't
the
wanna
common
take that.
she's the
Yep.
common denominator in all of those dates that she's had. Is the
Mhm.
only person that's the common denominator is her.
Right.
So I don't know. But that
Yep.
I just wonder about Emily, and I would, like you said, I would like to know more about her mother and father.
Mhm.
I don't think we saw them this season, and I think that was really odd, because usually when we see people her age that young come on here, the parents will come on, even though we'll see that they really not are in agreement with this idea of marrying at first sight, but they want to try to support their young daughter or son, right?
Right.
Okay, but now what about, okay, so in the next scene we've got Orion. Orion is once again giving us his word salad about why things didn't work out with Lauren. And this idea, this lofty idea that he seems to have, that we should be friends and I would love to be friends, but now she doesn't want to be my friend. What do you make of Orion?
I'm so glad he finally got the picture, got
Orion.
the memo right. And I think they called her "Oh liar" or something, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That's it.
But yeah, I'm glad that they finally decided to just end it because it was the purpose of holding on. You know, there's nothing there. This person does not benefit you. Why would you sabotage yourself and just keep injuring yourself dealing with that person, knowing if you want more, they're not going to give you more, or if you had some kind of history, it's not going to be that anymore. So I think that it's just best that they be right where they are, don't even try to be friends. What's the purpose of trying to hold on to a friendship if it's
Mm-mm.
not positive, if they're not going to help you be better? Just let it go. And I'm glad that they are finally letting it go.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. I think that you have to let things go that do not serve you,
Mhm.
especially things where you really don't have a deep, intricate tie. I'm not
Yes.
saying, that I think that people should always let go of their family, particularly their parents or
Mhm.
their offsprings. But in the case of somebody you just met yesterday and you've known them
Right.
a total of 6 weeks, yeah,
Yeah.
you can let them go. That didn't work
Mhm.
out, and especially with Orion, with somewhat more so with Lauren, letting go of Orion, which I think she finally has, because Orion is seems like to be a pathological liar. He loves to
Mhm.
lie. He's
Yeah.
always lying. He's always doing things for either attention, or B, to look good for the cameras and look good to America, promote his indigenousness, and
Mhm.
I don't think he really did indigenous people any big favors.
Nope.
I know I saw all over Reddit and all over Facebook, the indigenous people pretty much kind of basically wanted to disown him because they said that his unforgiveness of Lauren and her faux pas and her laughing in his face was not indicative of, for the most part, the indigenous community, right?
Mhm.
So I agree with them. I agree. Lauren doesn't want to have anything to do with him. He needs to just keep it pushing and try to get out of his mom's basement and get his own place.
Right. Now, I was surprised to see them sitting there smoking them cigars. They didn't even look like they knew what they were doing.
No. It's just a scene just to try to make it look
Yes.
look cool, I guess.
Right.
I
They
will say,
did.
I wanted to say, oh, what you made me think of something. What did you think in this episode? What did you think of the new haircuts that we noticed? Orion got his hair cut all cut
Mhm.
off. He had the long ponytail before.
Mhm.
Hair was down his back, and now it's
Yes.
a more modest length. And also,
Yes.
we noticed that Michael got all his long hair and his asymmetric bob cut off. What did you think of that? You like
I
the new
love
cut?
it. I
I
love
did
it.
too.
Both of them. I'm not a fan of long hair on men, so I really like the new look, the cleaner look, and even
Hmm.
Lauren. Now, I liked her hair too now. We gotta
Oh
speak on her. She
yeah.
had, like, the bob. I think it was her natural hair.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yes.
she taken the braids down and she had it kind of looked like it had been flat ironed. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, so
Yeah.
I'm loving all the hair changes.
The hair changes were good. Okay, the hair changes were hitting on 10. Very good. Very good. Okay, and so in our next major scene, what did you think about Michael finally meeting up with Lauren and Claire? What did you think about that? And he showed off his new tattoo that's on his back.
I did not like it. I didn't. I wonder if they showed Michael and Lauren together just because of what people have been saying in, the blogs or whatever, but it
Hmm.
was just weird. I was waiting for a few other people to join. So what was the purpose? I still don't think it makes sense. And then Michael gifted Lauren an earring, or was it a set? I don't know if it was just one earring, but I guess Lauren had told him a while back that he
Yeah.
wanted the earring and now he gave it to her. I thought that was inappropriate. Just the whole
Now,
setting was inappropriate.
Now why? Now why did you thought it was wrong for him to give her just one earring, or you thought it was wrong for him to give her a gift that might have been considered flirtatious? Or clarify a little bit, elaborate on why you felt that particular part was wrong.
Yes, so I feel like it was wrong for him to give her a gift, period. Why would they still try to be holding on to anything? I think it was just more so feeding into what people had been saying, because we'll see later how Austin kind of cleared up a few things too. So I think they only did this scene just to make us say, oh, oh, was there something? Or it was kind of to surprise us, or maybe to keep us guessing to see them together, but it was pointless. Nothing came out of it other than Claire saying that Lauren is the most flirtatious person that she knows, which is not a compliment. I hope she knows
Yeah,
that.
that was like a little like a low key dig or shade or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think Lauren will not be around Claire's boyfriend when he comes into town in person. I don't think because look how now she's flirting so hard with Michael. It was just distasteful, the whole scene.
Ooh, okay, okay, that's interesting. I see that now. I hadn't really picked up on that initially. That Claire was low key shading our girl
Yes.
Lauren, but yeah, I do see it now. And you're right. She may not. She may have to keep an eye on her. She says, "Okay, you gonna
Yes.
be seeing my boyfriend when he comes back to town again."
Right. You gotta know
Okay.
who to keep away.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. Can't Aretha Franklin used to sing a song. You ain't gonna be sitting up in the house around me and my man all day, girl. You better go on
Ooh.
down the street back to your crib.
I know that's right.
That is so true. That is so
Yeah.
true. It makes me think real quick. It makes me think of a friend of mine that lives out in California that was married to a very successful Marine Corps guy, right?
Hmm.
And she was a nurse. They were both very successful. I mean, she was a civilian, but she was a nurse that had worked really hard to get her. I forget what that certification is called in the degree where you go, you're a nurse, but you're basically right up under a doctor. You become almost like a doctor. You can prescribe medications. Is that nurse practitioner? I think.
Maybe a physician assistant or MP, nurse practitioner, maybe
Something
a
like that. But
PA.
so
Okay.
she was doing well, whichever way it is, guys. Drop down in the chat if you know exactly what I'm trying to say, because I don't know. But she had done all this work and all the testing,
Hmm.
had tested and gotten this certification, and was she was successful. He was successful. Had a successful career in the Marine Corps, and so they had bought this beautiful home out in California in the valley somewhere, and it was just beautiful, newly built, and
Hmm.
very affluent neighborhood. And so this girlfriend of hers came over and was just really marveling at how this successful black couple had it all, and her man, both people in this couple, the wife is very beautiful, husband tall, handsome, he's Marine, so you know how that is.
Hmm.
He's fit, he's just looking good in his at this time I think they were in their mid late 30s. And
Okay.
it didn't take my girlfriend too long to realize, what, this lady, she done looked all around, stooped all around the house, and she's
No.
looking at my husband drooling. I don't think I'll be having her back. Hey, Ellen.
Exactly.
Ellen V, if you're gonna be here
Wow.
for if you have just a second, do me a favor, dear. Could you go grab Kimberly's link, because I'm telling everybody to make sure they go over and subscribe to her channel.
Thank
But
you.
I don't know how to grab that link. But if you can, no, okay, stay tuned. West at Stay Tuned says, yeah, it's nurse practitioner. That's
Hmm.
what I thought. Yeah, West as Stay Tuned reviews. Another great channel, guys. By the way, definitely go over
Yes.
and check out Wes at Stay Tuned Reviews. He does wonderful reviews and recaps, and he's also a chef cook. So he also does cooking content too. So yeah, but anyway, so she just saw that. So you're right. You just cannot have everybody. So you're right about Claire. Claire may be looking at Lauren a little sideways now, right?
Right.
You know. So the next scene we have here is Becca. Becca and her girlfriend are discussing Austin and why things didn't work out and what the future holds for Becca. What did you think of Becca's girlfriend?
I liked her.
I did too.
Yeah, it was good. Now, Becca did say something interesting. She said she wants to become the person she's looking for. And I have a hard time with that because sometimes, they say
Hmm.
the opposite attracts. And, I'm not a cooker and I don't want to become a cooker, although I only date cookers, if that makes sense. So I'm not
Right.
sure.
I learned that from you. I learned that from you.
So I'm
My
not sure
next
at that
boot,
point.
my next boot thing has to be definitely be a cook.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And even if it's just something to have someone to help out. It's not fair for one person to be the sole cook. A lot of times they try to pin it on the woman, but I
Yes, that's
couldn't.
what society would have us believe, that we
Yes,
are solely the cooks in our homes, and I
it's
don't
not
think that
fair.
it's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah,
It's not
right.
fair.
Exactly. But the part where Becca says she's just trying to become what she's looking for, that threw me off a little bit. Because, I mean, I
Mm.
guess I can see it as far as like finances, but even with finances, you're just going
Hmm.
to wait and not date until you become a millionaire because you want a millionaire. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
what yeah, I
understanding.
guess we need, like you always say, we need more information on that.
Yes.
But maybe what she could have been saying. Now let's just think of it in terms of the season. If we look at it, Becca, in terms of highlighted what we saw with her this season, maybe because what at least I'm gonna say me, and then you go ahead and do you, and then I'm gonna say me. What did you think we saw from Becca this season where she could have maybe improved? Maybe that's what she's saying. What
Yeah,
would you
she
have improved with
yeah,
Becca?
I believe she could have been a little less possessive and just not so harsh on Austin and just trying to force him to do hot and heavy time, of course.
Yes,
But
yes, she was
just
big on
the
that.
yeah, and it was just too much touching, not enough conversation, and then not enough standing up for herself.
There you go.
It's kind of like she just went with the flow, kind of like we were saying, I
Oh
think behind
yeah,
the scenes.
like
Yeah.
Emily's riding the
Mhm.
wave. She was
Yes,
riding
yes.
that wave, but not being assertive enough. Instead of
Yes.
being assertive, she would always give in to just crying, which is not a really good form of communication, right?
Mhm.
You know you're hurt or you're either angry or you're frustrated, but it's not a
Right.
good way to communicate. So maybe that was it. Maybe she wants to communicate better because we didn't see Austin
Maybe.
communicating very well either.
Mhm. Yeah, I wish she woulda gave more because even at the reunion, it didn't seem like she was really taking full accountability for communication,
Hmm.
but and even the pressure part, she didn't really take accountability for pressuring him so much. Like, if I woulda looked back at myself and saw what Becca did, like, oh my gosh, she was asking that guy almost every episode for,
Yes,
more affection, more bedroom action, and that would have
yes,
turned me off, and I woulda came out swinging like, "Oh, no, I would have spoke to that. That's not who I am. That's not what I wanted. But it seems that that's exactly who she is and who she wants. But she never spoke on wanting to change or do better in that area because that made her look depressed. And a lot
it
of
did.
times you don't see it
It did.
yourself, but us
Hmm.
looking on the outside, we're like, oh, Becca seems so depressed and
She
desperate.
did. And you know what? And that's funny you mentioned that she did. And now that I think about it, the Becca that we saw halfway through the season, like maybe even when they were at the 1 month anniversary mark,
Hmm.
versus the Becca that was bright and hopeful and positive in
Yes.
the very beginning when she first
Yes.
married that klutz of a guy. I mean,
Hmm.
like you can't allow, here's the thing about life and relationships, you cannot allow what other people are going through or how they're not feeding into you
Hmm.
or nourishing you and you're trying to nourish them. You have to
Yeah.
really stop and look at it and say, am I getting out of this relationship as much as I'm putting into it?
Mm.
At some point you just simply got to look at it and say, I'm doing all of this. I'm loving
Yeah.
on this person. I'm pouring into him. I'm wishful. I'm hopeful. I'm affectionate with him. If he asks me to do this, I do this for him. But what is he
Mhm.
doing back in response in return for me?
Right.
One thing I'm learning as a seasoned woman with adult children is that you really, at every stage in your life as a woman, because we're conditioned as women to give so much to our men, our children,
Mhm.
our aging parents. One thing we must learn as women is to really be faithful and caring and loving and supportive of ourselves, and really
Yes.
be honest about the relationships we have at every given moment. That is, this relationship really serving you? And it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to end the relationship. what
Mhm.
it what it may require is a conversation or two, and it may require
Mhm.
you pulling back from that person,
Yes.
simply saying,
Yes.
I don't feel like I'm getting what I'm putting into this, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull back a little bit.
Mhm.
Maybe if the person really values you, the other person really values you, they will say, but no, you know what? This Kimberly reviews as a valuable person. I ain't letting her get
Mhm.
away. I'm
Right.
gonna do this, or I'm gonna at
Yeah.
least have a conversation. Kimberly, what do you need from me? What can I do? And I'm gonna do
Mhm.
it. So you will
Right.
find out if you really communicate with people and you really can put into action what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to distance yourself or pull back, pull back,
Mhm.
pull back.
Yeah. So true. You got to
Oh,
set
hey
those
there.
boundaries and stick to them.
Oh, hey there, James. Guy,
Oh, hello.
Yeah, Jay Skype Gap. He's another content creator here on these YouTube streets. Great to see you. That's right. Tell him, James. Smash that like button and subscribe too. Yes, but that's what I was thinking with her. I actually do like Becca. It was
Mm-hmm.
hard to watch her cry all season, but I actually really do like Becca, and I think she was more so sweet than the other ladies that she was surrounded by in the Pink Squad, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was sweet. I think she was well meaning, and I think she really was smitten with her spouse with Austin. But I don't think Austin was ready for marriage.
No, no, I
Mm-mm.
agree.
I don't think so. But next up, we had the animal sanctuary. We got Chloe at that dang on animal sanctuary. She gonna do an animal sanctuary if she don't do nothing else.
You got that right.
She's there with Mike and the guys, and they are. She is letting the women have it verbally. She is going in on the women. Is Chloe, guys? You out there in the chat? If you're on the replay, drop down in the comment section. Drop down in the comment section of the video and let us know, is Chloe right? Is Chloe accurate in her assessment of the women? What do you think? Is she fair? Is she giving a fair assessment and observation? Of course, she was up close and personal with them more so than we were as viewers. So maybe she's saw a lot more than what we saw. What do you think? What do you think about this, Kimberly? About this scene at the animal sanctuary?
Oh, for sure. I'm all for Chloe in this segment because she was right. And I'm so glad that Chloe stayed far away from the other ladies because all we saw from them was just bitterness. They were so negative and just always pointing out their right doing and their husband's wrongdoing. And it seemed like Chloe really wanted to give a marriage a fair chance. And I think she did for the most part, but she was right. Stay away from that toxicity, as they say, and just
Hmm.
focus on your own marriage because they were very toxic. Those four ladies, oh my goodness. And then we didn't even talk about them, but talking about going getting tattoos together, that's a bit much. So Chloe was
Oh
right because she would
yeah,
have
yeah. That's go ahead. We'll get into that. Go ahead. Talk about that scene. So
yeah,
the four pink women, go ahead. They went to get tattoos. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kimberly. Talk
oh, go
about it.
with that one. So yeah, they were
Mhm.
supposed to go get tattoos, but
They were supposed to, right?
right. So I guess the women slowly backed away. Lauren and Becca ended up not getting the tattoos, but Claire and Emily, stuck with it. But that was just childish. To me, it was like so I can't even say high school. I don't know where to put that. But these ladies you've only known for 8 weeks. Okay, maybe a little longer now. But
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not hanging out as often as they should to form
Mm-mm.
such a bond to go get a tattoo.
Yeah, that was weird.
No.
And like I said, I think I
Right.
told you earlier, I always had a problem, and it just occurred to me as I was talking to you earlier today, why I had a problem with Emily talking about from the very beginning of this season, like she was going to ride the wave as a wife. She was going to ride the wave. That to me seemed kind of dismissive of the whole intention and purpose and the
Mhm.
somberness of marriage, because marriage is a very serious institution, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like even when we saw her husband Brennan before he got married saying that, divorce is not an option. Like we're
Mhm.
looking at him like, he is definitely crazy. So I think there could have been a balance between both of them. I think that he was maybe a little bit too somber saying that divorce was not an option. And the reason why I say that for him and for her is that if you're going to go on a show called Married at First Sight, you don't know
Mhm.
the person. I think under
Right.
ordinary circumstances, when you know a person and you spent a year, 2 years building up to marriage and with the intention of marriage, right? Okay.
Yes.
So you've already analyzed each other's finances. You've already talked about goals. You've already talked about and agreed to whether you want to or don't want to have children. But going into a marriage at first sight thing, nobody should be saying divorce is not an option because that's crazy to me.
Mhm.
Then on her end, she's saying, well, we just gonna go, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna ride the wave. Well, Emily, that's what you did with all your one night stands. You rode that wave and
Exactly.
you rode it right on out of after 2 dates, 3 dates. Didn't nobody want to ride the wave with you no more. So your
Mhm.
waves ain't waving like,
Yep.
other
Comes back to
women's
those
waves.
exactly. Comes back to those boundaries. You got to have them and you got to
Have
stick
no
to them.
boundaries. Yeah, stick to them. So yeah, yeah, the whole thing about getting the ride the wave tattoo, it made sense that it only came down to Emily and Claire. That I believe Becca, she opted out because she used her situation with the autoimmune deficiency or whatever the condition that she has. She said, "Well,
Hmm.
I can't do it because of that." I said, "Oh, that's a good save." And then
Right.
Lauren just kind of told him, she said, I'm not so sure about it, and it's a permanent thing, so I think I'm gonna
Yes.
pass." So I can respect
Exactly.
Lauren. I can respect Lauren for that.
Me too.
So and then we have last couple of things we got on the items on the list. I just wanted to ask the question, especially you guys out there in the chat, and whether you're watching us on the replay, what did you think, about Chloe at the end of the day? There's been a lot of people on Reddit and on the Facebook group that are saying that Chloe was a bit of a pygmisha throughout the season. Now that the season has ended and we've heard their truths and their point of view a little bit more. What do you think, Kimberly? Is
No.
Chloe a pygmisha or no?
No, I never saw Chloe as that. Chloe was a little older. I think she's 39 versus these 20-year-old ladies and
Hmm.
30. I think
In the
some of
early
them.
30s. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, Chloe was just more mature and probably really wanted to be married so she can go ahead and adopt her children and animals. So I think that she was just really willing to compromise, which relationships take compromise. I
Yes.
don't see her as a
Agree.
pick Misha. No,
Okay.
she was not at all ever to me.
Okay, okay. And then let me ask you this one thing then related to that. How do you feel about Chloe uh getting closer with the men group as opposed to, I guess we see that she is probably it seems like the women have intentionally distanced her, the other women, that being Lauren and
Hmm.
Claire and Emily and Becca, they
Yeah.
seem like they've kind of distanced themselves from Chloe. I know she got married later than them. She came into the season later than them, and they
Hmm.
didn't get a chance to know her as well. But what do you think about Chloe's relationship or close relationship with the other ex spouses, the men, the husbands?
I think it's okay. I was surprised to see it. It's just weird her being the only woman and then hanging out with all these men,
Hmm.
especially since she's not married still. But it's
No.
fine, I guess. I love that, like I said earlier, that she chose not to stick with the ladies because they were not benefiting her. They were not adding any positivity to her relationship. So I agree that she should have, stayed away from them. But like you said earlier, she's gonna find a way to get us on that animal farm if it's the last thing she does. And I guess that's all she wanted to do. She wanted everybody to come together for this volunteer event. She probably knew, hey, we're going to be filming. I'm not going to invite the ladies. Why not let Michael invite the men? And it worked out. It was fine. I enjoyed it. I have nothing bad to say about their scene there. So it was okay, except the fact, what was it, three buffaloes she wanted?
Yeah, yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Yes, that's the only negative I have from that one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then very good. Very good. You think that there's a chance, I'm gonna ask you this again. Do you think there's a chance that Chloe and Michael may end up back together?
It's possible because why are they? I mean, this conversation on the phone just seemed like they had been talking. It kind of seemed like they were trying to downplay it. It didn't seem genuine. I'm like, are they just not wanting us to know that they are trying to work on it maybe off camera so we're not all in their face judging them so hard every week?
Ah, okay,
And
yeah,
maybe,
that's a good point. They may want to be away from the prying eye of the camera. I see what you're saying.
uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
mean, because even the conversation Chloe had with her friend, she was like, "Oh, right, if Lauren wants to talk to Michael, whatever, but she needs to know his loyalty lies with me." And I'm like, "Oh, are you so sure? How are you so
Yeah, that's
sure?"
what I'm trying to figure out. How is his loyalties lie with you when he said no on decision day? I
He
couldn't
did.
understand that. We
Yep.
have a question from West at Stay Tuned Reviews, and we're gonna wrap this up after this. He wants to know, will we be watching and reviewing the next season of Married at First Sight? And they're gonna be in Chicago very soon. What do you think, Kimberly?
Yes, for sure. We are here. We
Yes.
are coming back.
Yes, we're gonna be
Chicago,
back.
here we come.
Here we come, Chi-Town. Here we come. I love it. It's one of my favorite cities in the whole country is Chi-Town. I love
Really?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yes, it's beautiful. Have you been, Kimberly? Have you?
No, and I said before this even
Oh,
aired, I said I was going this year for sure.
it is beautiful off the water. You would especially love it. Like I know you've been to Italy. You recently went
Hmm.
to Italy, Switzerland, the Vatican City. It's a
Yes.
part there in downtown Chicago with the water. It's basically almost like Venice because you got the buildings
Wow.
on either side of a like a canal. It's amazing. You got the
Nice.
Magnificent Mile. People there are friendly in town. Great
Hmm.
places to eat. I know, like you, like myself, love to eat.
Yes,
You
yes, yes.
will love it. You will love it. Just the only thing I do not like, you have to go when the weather is mild. You cannot go just like Michigan. You can unless you love cold and snow. I would not recommend especially being from the South. I would not
Hmm.
recommend you go during the winter months. I just would not.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay, that helps.
beautiful city, beautiful. Yeah,
Nice.
but we will definitely stay tuned. We will definitely be
Yes.
back for Married at First Sight Chicago. Does anybody know? Drop down in the chat or drop down in the comments if you know or have any idea, because I've been looking online. I've been searching feverishly. Now, you may want to contact, what is it, Alyssa? Because I know Alyssa
Hmm.
always has the inside scoop. So you might want to reach out to Alyssa and see if she knows, because oftentimes she will drop down in your chat when you're doing your live Married
Yes.
at First Sight shows and ask her. But I heard the word on the street right now is that I'm hearing is that they that within about a month or two they're going to be coming back. So that would be like maybe June, maybe June
Hmm.
sometime this summer. So are you ready for that this summer?
I think we need about 2 to 3 months to relax and recoup from this season. Because this season was a roller coaster, and then
It
we
was
didn't
a
have any
roller
lasting
coaster.
marriages.
It was a roller coaster and it took a lot out of us. It took a
Yes,
lot out of us doing this thing, you know. But
0 out of 6 marriages.
none of them, not a one, not a
Right.
zippo, not a
And a
goose
runaway
egg.
bride.
Runaway Bride, and not one of them worked out. Just terrible.
A
But guys,
mess.
we want to thank you for hanging out with us through this 6 month journey. Because I look back
Yes.
at my notes. This season started October 17th, 2023. If you were
Yes.
pregnant with your baby 3 months, you probably had a healthy boy or girl or triplets or twins or whatever they were. It's been
Yes.
a long, but we did this for you because we love you and we love to read your comments in the comments section and in the chat.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to taking you on that next ride to Chicago. With that said, you want to say goodbye, Kimberly, and we're going to shimmy and shake on out of here.
Yes. Thank you all so much for the support. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.